Thank you. So beta, I think today is 30th na beta? Okay beta. Today is our beta 30th and dear children, we have completed, I think, nuclear reactor we have done with it. And at the same time, we have completed our breeder reactor also, research reactors we have talked about with us. And after that, we were to begin with nuclear fusion, I think, beta. है ना beta? So let us begin with the nuclear fusion reaction, beta. What do we mean by the term nuclear fusion? And how this nuclear fusion reaction can take place, what are the necessary conditions and the outcomes, advantages and disadvantages and all that. Beta. So nuclear fusion. As this name fusion a little bit indicates that something which is undergoing the process of fusion, they fuse together to form some higher order nucleus or higher order nuclei rather. So by the term nuclear fusion, we mean that when two or more light nuclei, they combine to form the single heavy nucleus, a tremendous amount of energy is again given out. So such a type of reaction in which two or more light nuclei beta, they combine, they join together, they fuse together in order to give a stable higher order nuclei, that is called a nuclear fusion reaction. And dear children, it is exactly opposite process in comparison to that of our nuclear fission. If we have the process of fission with us, in fission, we say that the single nucleus, it breaks down into the stable nuclei of the intermediate mass number. But here, the light nuclei or the nuclei of the light elements, they fuse together, they combine together to give a higher nucleus of higher element, and those higher will further combine. In this way, exactly reciprocal of the fission reaction, it beta takes place. So let me have the statement or the definition first beta. The nuclear fusion, it is beta defined as the nuclear reaction in which two or more light nuclei combine to give a single heavy nucleus. Now, obvious question comes to our mind that when we are talking about the light nuclei, let me take you inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we are having only protons and neutrons, and electrons are not present inside the nucleus. Imagine that I have one nucleus of light element, maybe hydrogen, maybe proton you can say, and we want to fuse it with another nucleus which is of the same identity, that is two protons we are taking, proton and proton. If we try to fuse them together, there will be automatic force of repulsion between the two, because positive will repel positive, and it will be very difficult to carry out the nuclear reaction in such a manner. In short, I just want to convey that these positive charges will be repelling each other, and as a result of that, it becomes very difficult to carry out the nuclear fusion reaction. Then what is done is that temperature of approximately 10 raised per 7 Kelvin. It is artificially maintained in the laboratory. This is at around about your 100 lakh Kelvin. It is not convenient to deal with this temperature in the laboratory. Some sort of artificial arrangements are needed. In simple words, beta, we cannot attain this temperature. First of all, what is the need of this temperature? Because beta, in order to overcome the repulsive force between these two protons, beta, we can say that we can say that in that case we will not be able to have the two protons brought near each other. So when the temperature will be very high, beta, what will happen? They will possess beta a lot of kinetic energy, and due to that kinetic energy, thermal kinetic energy rather, these have the chances to collide and initiate the nuclear fusion reaction. So, dear children, in this case, we can say that at such a higher temperature, the two light nuclei, they can combine to give a single heavy nucleus beta. Now, how we can attain this high temperature? In order to attain this very high temperature, we at that place where we want to carry out the nuclear fusion reaction, we in uh, order to carry out the fusion reaction, before the fusion reaction, we carry out beta nuclear fission reaction at that particular site. And the nuclear fission reaction, it will be automatically then enhance the nuclear fusion reaction, and as a result of that beta, our nuclear fusion reaction, it will start or it will take place as such. So this is how beta our nuclear fusion reaction starts, and it completes all together beta. Then beta, furthermore, let me give one example related to the nuclear fusion reaction. Imagine you have one proton. This is the proton beta, and we combine it with another proton. This is the requirement of the temperature. We will artificially be maintaining that temperature by first of all making our nuclear fission reaction to proceed at this site. So this will give you beta your 1H2 deuteron, and along with the deuteron you will get the positron as a byproduct. So you can check 1 plus 1, 2 is there, atomic number. Here 1 plus 1, it will be 2, 2 plus 0, mass number 2, and 1 plus 1, it will again be beta equal to 2. In this way, we can maintain the atomic number as well as the mass number of the above said beta reaction. Now beta, before I come up with the new idea, new discussion, the two cycles are very important in the nuclear fusion reaction. You can quote these cycles as an example of nuclear fusion reaction also beta. So these two cycles, these are beta proton-proton cycle and carbon-nitrogen cycle. These are very important, and these can be written as the examples of nuclear fusion reaction also beta. So dear students, let us have the proton-proton cycle. I will also make you aware of the fact that how much energy is released in this fusion reaction. So between proton-proton cycle beta. Now beta, as the name indicates, we in our lower standards have discussed so many cycles. Oxygen cycle you must have discussed, you have discussed water cycle in your classes, or you may have discussed any other, I think nitrogen cycle you have also studied in your lower classes. So on the same pattern, here we come across with the proton-proton cycle. Let me introduce this cycle and I will be explaining this to you. This is with a proton and another proton. These two protons, these are very light particles, light nuclei. They will combine, they will give you one deuteron. Along with the deuteron, you will get the positron, beta positive particle it is called, and you will get neutrino. Beta dear, focus over here. If you have beta particle, you will get anti-neutrino. If you have beta positive particle, you get neutrino. And obviously, some energy will be given out. Now we take this is proton, this is proton, this is deuteron. This deuteron, it will combine with this proton and it will give you with a triton. This is 1H3. Rest everything is well maintained. You can compare 1 plus 1, it will be 2 and it is with a helium 2, 3, sorry. It is not a triton. Helium 2, 3 state. 2 plus 1, 3, it is 3 mass number. 1 plus 1, 2, and atomic number, it is 2 as such maintained. Now, dear children, along with this, some amount of energy other than this energy will be given out. And in the third step, this helium isotope He23 and another helium isotope He23, it is undergoing the fusion further. It will give you He24, and beta dear students, we get 2 protons as the byproduct along with some amount of energy other than this energy. Once again, focus on the nuclear reaction beta. 2 isotopes of helium and 2 plus 2, this is 4, this is 2 and 2, this is 4. And here 3 plus 3, 6, this is 4 plus 2, 6 beta. Now beta, if I sum up the total amount of energy, that is sum total of this energy and this energy, then the total energy released is 18.77 mega electron volts beta. So beta, this much is the amount of energy released in this case beta, and this energy when released, it will give a very large amount of energy in the end beta. So you can well see beta that in this case, in the case of this nuclear reaction, we get tremendous amount of energy in the single step as such beta. So beta, once again, let me now go for the detailed description. This proton and this proton, these combine to give us deuteron, positron, neutrino. This energy is 5 point few mega electron volt. I don't want to write that because you will have to learn three energies. This is the end point energy we are getting as such. And one deuteron and the same proton combines. This is helium isotope, and these combine to give us the again this particular helium isotope 2,4 as such. Now you can see these are the 2 starting protons. We started with these 2 protons. Why do we call this as the cycle, proton-proton cycle? Because we started with the 2 protons, and in the end we are getting these 2 protons as the byproduct also. And in the intermediate part of the reaction, what is happening? We are getting some higher element. These were the lower elements with lower atomic number, lower mass number. This is the element with higher atomic number as well as higher mass number. But and at the same time, the reactants with which we started, we are getting these reactants as the product also. So this type of cycle is called proton-proton cycle beta. I would again mention over here that beta, inside the sun of our solar system beta, inside the sun, thousands and thousands of such cycles are repeatedly taking place. And the sun of our solar system, it presents the best example of the nuclear fusion reaction beta. Inside this sun beta, a large amount of energy is thus released in the form of beta the fusion energy. So dear children, one cycle that is getting repeatedly repeated inside the sun, that is proton-proton cycle. One more example I am quoting over here, that is with a carbon-nitrogen cycle. This is just an example to elaborate that why the sun is giving very large amount of energy. You might have estimated in your lower classes in 11th standard in the last chapter that the surface temperature of the sun, we have estimated na bete, average surface temperature of the sun to be 5800 Kelvin. You can well imagine Earth is at a distance of 1.5 into 10 raised per 11 meter, one astronomical unit away. Even then, at such a distant place, we are getting a large amount of the solar energy to use in our daily life. So all this energy is on account of our nuclear fusion reactions taking place inside the sun. Now, dear students, let me have the case of carbon nitrogen cycle. This is just another cycle that is taking place inside the sun. Carbon nitrogen cycle बेटे डियर जरा ध्यान से बेटे इसको देखिए. कार्बन 612 आइसोटोप इज अवेलेबल विद मी. It is combining with one proton. It will give you nitrogen 713, and at the same time we get some amount of energy. Dear all, nitrogen 713, it will undergo the nuclear reaction in this way. 613 along with one positron along with the neutrino and some amount of energy other than released in this step. And furthermore, dear, this carbon 613, it will combine with another proton. It will give you nitrogen 714, and this between nitrogen 714, it will combine just with another proton. It will give you oxygen 815. Dear children, oxygen 815, it will give you your nitrogen 715 along with one positron or beta positive particle, neutrino energy, and this energy is still other than the value of the energy we are getting in the reaction as such. In the final step, beta, I will have this nitrogen. This is nitrogen. Let me write at the top, beta. This is nitrogen 715 isotope, and beta, it gets combined with one proton. This will give you carbon 612, and beta, here we get helium 2 and 4 along with the energy other than the energy released in the rest of the steps, beta. Now I will make you understand these steps one by one, dear children. Let me make you understand. Carbon, lower element with which we were starting. Carbon is absorbing one proton. This is giving you nitrogen 713. When you carry out such reactions on your notebook, always keep in mind 6 plus 1, 7. 12 plus 1, 13. It is maintained. You are correct. Clear? Then dear, 713, it goes into the decay of this type. 6 plus 1, 7. And this is 7. This is 13, 13 plus 0, 13, justified. Make sure that these are equal on both the sides of the reaction, that is reactant side as well as the product side. Then beta, carbon 613, it will get combined with another proton. 6 plus 1, 7, it is there. 13 plus 1, 14, it is there. Again we are justified. And here 714, again getting combined with a proton. Oxygen 7 plus 1, 8, Atomic number 14 plus 1, 15. Again justified, we are correct. And oxygen 8, 15. It will then with a decay in this form. Beta positive particle will be released along with energy. 7 plus 1, 8. Justified. 15. 15 plus 0 justified. Then dear all, this is the product we are getting over here. 7, 15. It will be getting absorbed one proton over here. We get the carbon element and we get the helium nucleus along with energy. Now dear all, well, see, this is our starting point. We started with carbon, this isotope, and in the end, we are getting the same isotope of the carbon as the byproduct. So, due to this reason, this is called carbon-nitrogen cycle. Why nitrogen? Because in the intermediate steps, we come across nitrogen so many times. We have different isotopes of nitrogen, maybe 713, 714, 715, etc. We all come across all these isotopes in the intermediate steps in order to carry out the nuclear fusion reaction as such. So carbon we started with, in the end we are getting the same, and along with this we are getting, see, this is the higher element. This is proton and it is the helium nucleus. So dear students, if I count the total energy released in all these steps, then I can say that over here approximately, I am not talking in exact terms, approximately 25 mega electron volt energy is released in this single cycle. बहुत ध्यान से बेटा एक बार फिर से फोकस करेंगे. In single cycle, single carbon nitrogen cycle, we get this much amount of energy. Previously we discussed proton cycle. We were having approximately 18.77 mega electron volt energy. So you can well imagine when series of such reactions are taking place, and such a series are again hundreds and thousands in number. So what amount of energy will be available with us? We will be having very large amount of energy with us. So these were the examples as well as the different cycles in order to represent the nuclear fusion reaction taking place inside the sun. Now let me have a few more important points discussed with you regarding the nuclear fusion reaction. As last time we were talking about the atom bomb. In the case of atom bomb, we said that nuclear fission reaction is the basic principle. You might be aware of the fact that during the lockdown period, North Korea was carrying out some hidden type of tests on the hydrogen bomb. So hydrogen bomb, this is hydrogen bomb. This is based upon your nuclear fusion reaction. So energy released in this reaction, in the nuclear fusion reaction, is far more in comparison to the nuclear fission reaction, and it has the capacity to destroy each and everything within a radius of you can say 200 kilometers at which side this experiment or this bomb is being exploded. Furthermore, this was the sad side of this or the misuse of this energy. If we talk about a positive use, then you can well see that our sea, salt water, it is full of neutrons. When we talk about sea water, that is not fit for the drinking purpose or human consumption because of the more salt content in it and other type of heavy metals may be present in it. That is not fresh water. That contains a very large number of your higher isotopes of proton, that is deuterons and tritons. If in future our scientists are able to fuse those together. Last to last year attempts were made at CERN, CERN laboratories. You might have heard. This laboratory, it is a underground laboratory and it is having a circular type of tube within a radius of 2 kilometers. 2 kilometer radius is there and it is built underground at a high depth so that beta any type of damage it may not happen to the life outside as well as some sort of other disaster may not happen. So at that place beta the nuclear fusion reactions were carried out on the experimental basis and some good results were observed but that failed in the end beta that was not that lasted for few hours only. So if in future young scientists or you people, you develop yourself in such a way that beta, such type of nuclear reactions can be carried out in future, if it is possible, then our sea water, it is having with a countless number of neutrons and protons. We will fuse those together and after having those fused, a tremendous amount of energy will be created. So then in future, what will happen beta? You will have salt water, you will put in the fuel tank, your vehicles, your reactors, your every energy hungry devices, they will be working on that salt water and there will be proper utilization of that. And at the same time, there will be no pollution at all because these are not getting the exhaust gases in that form that we are getting nowadays. At the same time, one disadvantage may happen that sometimes the products which we are getting as in the end after the nuclear fusion, they may be radioactive. Not always, they may be radioactive and in order to have the disposal of such specimens, it is sometimes problematic. So beta, this was the concept of your nuclear fusion reaction and then proton-proton cycle, then with a carbon-nitrogen cycle, you are to learn the sequence of the steps. These, although these are in, I have seen approximately 22 years, I have never seen this question. Only once I saw a proton-proton cycle in this long spell of time. So it may be, may not be, but at the same time, if you remember any one of these steps, you can quote it as an example of nuclear fusion reaction, any one step. Then beta, furthermore, this will give you the principle of your hydrogen bomb also. So this is the sad side and on the positive side, tokamak, you might have heard. This was the code name of that experiment that was carried out at CERN laboratories beta. So we hope that in future it will be possible and the whole mankind will be gifted with a tremendous free of cost and pollution free source of energy beta. Last topic beta hamara, this is beta the case of radiation hazards. Radiation has some harmful effects on the life existing on the surface of the earth beta. Radiation hazards. Radiation may be due to the leakage of the nuclear contents, nuclear fission and all that beta. When these accidentally get leaked beta, they may create two types of beta effects. Two types of effects we come across. These are beta acute effects beta, acute effects, and then beta we have delayed effects beta. Dear children, acute means short span of time. Suppose that some nuclear scientist is working in the laboratory and carrying out some nuclear fission reaction beta, then if that person is getting exposure to the nuclear radiations in any form, then beta the body of that person will be affected in a short span of time if the dose of the radiations he or she receives is bit more, then beta that person may feel the symptoms like headache, loss of sight, vomiting, etc. And if the dose he is or he or she is receiving is even more, then the condition of the person may become critical, more critical rather. And if the dose he is exposed to is very large, is very severe, then with immediate death of the person within an hour may also occur. So these are the effects which appear in a short spell of time. With dear children, the delayed effects. Try to remember Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You might have studied in your history books with America dropped two bombs on that particular city. The names of the bombs were Fat Man and the Little Boy. These were the code names of that nuclear bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Fat Man and Little Boy. And after these particular nuclear bombs were dropped on the two cities, the incoming generations, the next generations, they suffered a lot in terms of some sort of disabilities. Some some particular person belonging to the next generation, he was not having ears, or some person was not having eyes at all. So such type of genetic disorders were created in the coming generations, and this is very, very, very sad side of the nuclear radiation hazards. So it doesn't mean that we should not use this we can take all the safety measures and we can proceed with it all, as we were having the case of our concrete wall designed around the nuclear reactor's core Now, suppose we want to have the research in the field of nuclear science. What is done? As I'm having the mic with me, I will be having, suppose the person wants to have research based upon that nuclear reactions and all that. Special suits are provided to those persons, and right at the pocket, a pocket dosimeter. The name of the device is pocket dosimeter that is attached. That records the amount of the dose of the radiations the person is receiving. And that dosimeter is then sent to BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center for Analysis, and they say that this limit is safe or not. And if it is not safe, some sort of treatment may be recommended for that person also. So, dear all, so these were your radiation hazards. Again, continuing with the radiation hazards, we have nuclear winter or nuclear holocaust. Nuclear winter, nuclear holocaust. What do we mean by this, dear children, when you nowadays are hearing a lot of news that America is having so many nuclear weapons, Russia is having so many nuclear weapons, India is having so many nuclear weapons, even Pakistan is having so many nuclear weapons, and estimate, a study made by some independent agency, it states that if all these nuclear weapons are made to work on the surface of the earth, then the pollution created by the nuclear radiation leakage will be of such a high level that every type of life will come to an end on the surface of the earth. And secondly, due to the pollution created by these radiations, an outer layer in the atmosphere will be created by that pollution caused by the excessive use of these nuclear weapons, and that will result into the some sort of nuclear radiation clouds in the form of clouds that will cover the whole earth. Now, what will be the further sad side? When it will be covering the whole earth, sunlight will not be entering the earth's atmosphere because of that pollution or that layer created by that excessive use of these weapons, and when that will not be reaching on the surface of the earth, the temperature on the surface of the earth will drop down, drop down, drop down, and it will come down. If due to such a large leakage, if even then some sort of life will exist, then that will come to an end due to that extremely low temperature caused by that particular nuclear winter beta. And that winter, it will take thousands of years in order to come to an end, and then the life will start altogether in a new way. This is the sad side of the nuclear weapons. So with this all beta, our chapter comes to an end, and we are finished with this particular chapter beta. Now, let me have a few numerical problems related to this chapter. I would rather suggest you to have these problems, numerical problems related to your NCERT book solved at your home. I will also be discussing those. I have a few numerical problems with me. Simplest of the simple I am going to write beta. First problem with me is that beta, you can write that an element A with the mass number capital A to be 180 and atomic number Z 78. I mean, sorry, 72, it is not 78, this is 72. I just mean to say that I am having the element A, 72 is its atomic number, its mass number is 180. It is undergoing the decay in the following sequence. It is alpha particle is given out, then we are getting the new state A1. Then after this alpha, we are getting beta particle given out. We are getting A2. After this beta, we are getting an alpha particle emitted. We are getting A3. And after this A3, we are having a gamma particle emitted in order to get A4. So you are to indicate the atomic number as well as the mass number Z and A related to your A4. This is the requirement. And at the same time, beta, you can have this solution as such. Time is up, beta. So dear children, we will continue with the exercise next time. Till then, best of luck to you all, beta. Thank you all, beta.